Hi folks, how are we doing? Simon's asked what's the new blue icon. I'm actually not sure because I'm not sure how you guys are seeing it, but my screen looks different. You'll have noticed there that I was able to see the thing I was talking about last week, Simon. It's basically that where you can view the comments on the screen. So I'm taking it you can see this. I'm not just talking about something that's just me can see it, but so at the right hand of my screen right now is showing all the comments. Let's see, so I can even change to make the text like kind of a medium and stuff. Anyone else getting the comments within the screen? Right, okay. Large. Oh, medium. Oh, thank you. But yeah, hang on. So I'm trying to just get it so as that takes up the. Anyway, the point is, if I was doing a multi-stream like with Simon right now, and we both had individual comments on our own like YouTubes, we seeing the comments on screen, you see all of the comments, you're seeing what comes through on Restream. So that's what I was talking about last week, but we obviously don't need it because we're all in one place. So I've taken it off, but I just wanted to show you. And as to what the blue thing is, I don't know because I don't see wrenches replaced by shields. I guess we're all knights now, says Donna. I guess. Oh yeah, I see it. I see it on the YouTube chat. There you go. That's cool. Sorry, I just fired out in there as always. Straight to business. But we've got Tony here. Hi Tony, how you doing? And Simon, of course. Hi Simon, how you doing? Donna, the lovely Donna, and Moomintaro's here. Hiya. Meadows here. Hey, how you doing? David's here. Hi David. Jen's here. Hi Jen, how are you? So we can make you big and get rid of the sidebar. I'm not sure. Do you mean like you have the option to get rid of it if you want to? I wonder. I'm just kind of curious now. Really on and off. Okay, so I can have it so it's just floating above my picture. I can change the size of the text, the demo button. That's not right. Don't know what that was about. Let's see, all settings, rounded, alignment, opacity, background opacity. So size. So that's just the size of the text, and then padding. Right, and I can pick this up and move it about if I so desire. Oh well, there we go. But like I say, we don't need it. Oh no, where's my off button gone? Oh, here it's here. Sorry, I'm like a kid at Christmas. Sandy's just brought me a nice McDonald's coffee, which is exciting. I did ask for snacks though. It's not brought me up any snacks. I don't know if that means that I've not got snacks or if they're waiting for me for after I finish the live. But yeah, I've now got a coffee and a tea, which is exciting. I think it's a toffee nut latte. Nice. I should probably drink my tea first though, because I enjoy cold coffee, or well, I can drink cold coffee, but I can't really drink cold tea. Anybody else like that? Shields mean that we are protectors of Chris, absorbing the blows of the troll. post. Yeah, it does. It sure does, David. So use your powers wisely. Let's see if we get anybody else to say hi to. I'm not really sure, but I've obviously not seen you in a wee while because, well, I have seen you. That's a lie. It's a barefaced lie. I was live with Simon last Thursday. I just mean we've not done a Sip and Sling in a wee while, and it's been even longer since we've done one just with me, because I think the last Sip and Sling I did, I was with Elaine, which was amazing. So yeah, I got a new Lenormand deck, which I'm quite excited about, and I'm quite enjoying using it. My phone's going off. Right, we're good. We're all good. Yeah, I got a new Lenormand deck. The Lenormand of Enchantment. Has anybody got this? And what are your thoughts on it? Let's see. You're going to be well caffeinated. I know. I know. I'm going to be up to high dough. Tony likes iced tea. See, iced tea, if it's meant to be iced, is okay, but if it's like tea that's meant to be hot and it just goes cold, it's nasty, I think. Oh, so by the sidebar, you mean the actual comment bar where you put your comments in? Yeah, you would still need that. I love cold black coffee, no sugar, says David. Really? I can't drink coffee without. I take sweetener rather than sugar, but I don't really enjoy it without the sweetener. And I can't drink it black. I need milk in my coffee and in my tea. But yeah, I don't enjoy either without milk, which is a shame. I do take oat milk in my coffee. Oh, there's Gerald. Hi, Gerald. So I don't know if how much people know, but our lovely Marita is she's currently like unwell, let's say. But she's on the mend and she's in the right kind of she's getting the right care and stuff that she needs. And the lovely Gerald went and visited her today, which was really sweet of him, I think. But as he says, she appreciates all the healing and love, and we of course continue to send that. So if everyone could, whatever it is that you do, whether it's lighting a wee candle, lighting a wee bit of incense, keeping her in your prayers, or just in your rituals or thoughts or whatever tickles your pickle, if you could keep Marita in mind and send her all the healing, please, that would be great. Simon says, been sending Reiki healing, Gerald. She's in our thoughts. I didn't know you still did Reiki, Simon. That's interesting. I knew you were a Reiki master, is it? But I didn't know that you still did that. Nah, I love the bitterness of coffee. Cold, bad Nescafe who wakes you up in the morning. Oh, yuck. No, thank you. Donna's wishing Marita well. I get a real Maru hug. Patchwork. Taro is here. Hi, Patchwork. Sending healing thoughts to Marita. And Roman's here. Hi, Roman. I also want to send all my, I don't know how many of you would have seen, but in Glasgow city centre there was a big fire at the start of the week. One of our grade 2 listed buildings, right next to our biggest train station, Glasgow Central. On the corner of it, it was a vape shop, a fire that started in a vape shop. It's such a shame because it's a building that's got so many small businesses, small queer businesses actually, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, you should see it. Look up, if you've not seen it, look up pictures of it online. It is tragic. It's a shame. It's a shame because it was building stuff and it was a historic building. But I just feel really bad for all of the displaced small businesses. So yeah, through the week I shared a GoFundMe for one of the small businesses. It was a hairdresser's. It's called the Curl Shop, and it's a young guy. It's his business, and he's only had it for a few years. But I just felt so bad because just a young guy, and you could really feel feel the emotion from him, like just watching his stuff and watching him kind of basically being there and watching his building go down in flames, so it was really sad. And yeah, I guess my thoughts just go out to all of the people that are affected. But yeah, like I say, I shared the GoFundMe through the week. But yeah, check it out. Lenormand, I was talking about the Lenormand that I got when I got sidetracked. I'm probably going to get sidetracked again. Taro says my brother lives in Glasgow and was in town that night. Sent some crazy photos. Very sad to lose those historic buildings. Yeah, that is. Is anyone else's video and audio out of sync? Asks Donna. And Patchwork says, yeah. That's annoying. I'm seeing it in sync, like reflected back at me. There's wee things floating about. I'm seeing it in sync, but obviously I would be because I'm not watching it through the actual YouTube. I'm watching it on Restream. I take it your brother's okay, Taro. He will be if he was sending pictures and stuff, but was he affected by it or did he just see it? I hope he wasn't affected by it. Jens is as well. Right, sorry about that, folks. I don't know what's causing it, and I'm not really too sure how to put it right. So we might just need to persevere with it. But what I'm going to do in a wee second, in fact, I'll change it over to this just now. I'm going to show you the Lenormand of Enchantment. So hopefully with me just being a small square at the top, it'll be less distracting. You can concentrate on some cards. Let me shift my keyboard out of the way. So yeah, I got this because, so as much as I'm a card deck collector, oh, it's not in here, it's up there. As much as I'm a collector, I mainly collect tarot. The Lenormand decks that I've got, I've only got a small collect. In fact, I'll probably show you 2 seconds. Let's do a wee impromptu my Lenormand collection. Bear with. Now, I also have the Ciro Marchetti's Gilded Reverie Lenormand, but that is in my work bag, which is over there. So I'm not going to show you that just because I need to go and get it. But I mean, I've still got a fair collection. So I've got the House of Shadows Lenormand, which is Monica Badursky's. I think this was redone as the Shadowland Lenormand movie. I've got this one. I'm not sure what this is kind of referred to as, but it's quite a standard one. You can get it on like Amazon and stuff. the Nocturnal Garden Lenormand. I got this from Taro by Peachy at one of the fairs that I work at. I've got Mendy's Lenormand, the Butterfly Lenormand. It's a beautiful deck, so it's square, and there's two sizes. There's a smaller size and the kind of a bigger size. Let's see, this is Andreastes, the Ghastly Lenormand, and these are like, it's fairly recent I showed these. These are kind of a coffin shaped, which is quite cool. I've got the Maybe Lenormand, which is one that you would have seen me using on if you watch my weekly readings. I've got the Enchanted Lenormand. Now, I have this. I don't really use this, to be honest with you. The aesthetic of this one is it's got like these kind of a crystal balls in the center of the card, and the symbol is in the crystal ball. I don't know. It's just something about it. I don't really quite gel with it. But my understanding is the book is fantastic. Now, I do have Cashlin's Complete Lenormand Oracle Handbook, but my understanding is that the book that goes with this is also written by her, and it's just as good. Let me pop that there. Let's see, the Claire de Lune Lenormand by Anna Turian, which is beautiful. Got the Under the Roses Lenormand, the Sweet Blossom Lenormand. Got the Afro Goddess Lenormand. I love the images on this, but the cards are too big. They're tarot size, essentially. It's weird because this deck is like essentially tarot size, and then the tarot deck, the Afro Goddess Tarot, the mass market one, is a lot smaller. It's almost like they've gotten it mixed up. They've got it the wrong way around. But like the images are stunning. So they are. And then I've got the Celtic Lenormand, and finally the Lenormand of Enchantment that I've just gotten. So yeah, I've got a no bad collection, but it's definitely not as considerable as my tarot collection, which is like, almost reaching the 300 mark. Hi Beth, how you doing? You're like a 1970s dubbed movie. I'm sorry for all in Glasgow affected by the fire, yeah. He's fine, his flat's in the south side, I think. Like many locals, just upset about the loss, yeah. Fifi's here. Hi Fifi, how are you? You have a decent amount of Lenormand, considering you're not into Lenormand. I'm into Lenormand. I've been getting more into it lately, actually. Been reading with it a lot. I read with it in all my weekly videos, and I'm kind of trying to get better at it. Love the coffin box. Yeah, it's cool. That's Andrew's Lenormand. When I'd got that from Andrea in person at the Tabby conference, and he was telling me this legend about so in France you can go and visit Mademoiselle Lenormand's grave, or it's not a grave, it's a kind of what's the one where it's like in a building, mausoleum or that type of thing, right? But you go in and it's her whatever it is. And there's this legend that you lay out all your Lenormand cards, then you go away and leave them overnight, and you come back and they are like, I don't know, blessed or by Mademoiselle Lenormand, and apparently it, I don't know, does something. It's like a wee old legend or something. quite cool. Taro loves the maybe Lenormand. Yeah, I've been enjoying reading with it as well. Like I say, I've been using it a wee bit because it's a really decent size. It's a good size Lenormand. The Enchanted was my first Lenormand. The book is great. Can't stand that deck. Are you meaning the Enchanted one, Jen? Grabbed Declare de Lune before it went out of print. I was sent it by somebody really kind, so I was. Claire de Lune, isn't that a piece by Davis? Yeah, that is. The tarot deck is absolutely stunning. Have you seen it? Sorry, I'm getting all distracted, but oh, I think we can zoom in just a smidge. That's better. So yeah, it's not colourful, it's these kind of a whitey blues and yellows on the black background. But Anna's artwork, so of course it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that's Declare de Lune. I have no idea how to read with Lenormand, but I like the look of the cards. It's not too difficult to learn, I don't think. It's kind of a different from reading with like a tarot deck, because Lenormand is more like, think about it as like an alphabet. Do you know what I mean? They very rarely can tell you too much, one card on its own, but when you put two together, it kind of gives context. So let's see, fish and mice. So fish tends to talk about things that flow quite often. Fish is money. But anything that flows, really. So if we take this as being talking about money, this is the subject, and then the modifier or the descriptor is the next card, the mice. So mice is things being eaten away at. It's things reducing. Sometimes it's thievery and things being stolen. So you've got money, and the money's been eaten away at. The reason it's like it isn't like the descriptor and then the subject is because it's a French system, I think, originally. And in French, they tend to put the subject first and then the descriptor. So yeah, that I would read this as like kind of a money's reducing, something's taking away your money, something's eating away, gnawing away at your finances. And once you know what each of the cards kind of stands for, you can kind of do that. It's not always easy, but so like you've got the stork, which is like positive movement forwards, and then you've got the sun, which is a really positive card. It's kind of akin to the sun in tarot. So like movement in a real positive direction is the way that I would interpret this. It's like changes that happen that are really, really positive changes and that are taking you to a much better or a really positive place, The tree can quite often be about health, health and well-being, and then the tower, I see it as being about perspective. It's not like the tower in tarot. The tower in Lenormand is more about that kind of taking a bit of a time out and viewing things from a high perspective. So I would see this as about getting perspective on your health or your well-being, and so on and so forth. But once you kind of know what the individual cards are talking about, it's just practice kind of putting them together. And I mean, I was always really trying to be really like making sure that I'm doing it absolutely to the letter, and I was never really very free about it. But lately I've gotten a bit, because like 2 cards is easy enough, but then it's like when you're laying down 3 cards, I'm like, right, okay, so we've got the subject and the modifier, so what's that, a second modifier? Like, and then I was like, do you know what, fuck the subject and modifier thing. Why don't I just make a sentence out of it? So something's being eaten away at. Something's eaten away at your sense of joy, pride, happiness. But it's giving you a perspective. It's giving you a new perspective. Okay. So in the centre, you've got the kind of I guess the subject, the main thing that we're looking at, which is your pride, your sense of joy, your happy place. The mice does indicate that something's eating away at that. Okay, so there's something that's a bit fucky. There's something that's messing with your sense of joy, but it's giving you a bit of a perspective. Okay, so maybe this is someone who's kind of a letting you down, but it's like kind of a making you wiser to them. It's making you see who they really are, that type of thing. Yeah. Anyway, that's declared the Loon, Lenormand. I promise I will eventually show you the Lenormand deck that I initially set out to. But hey-ho, these tangents are a good thing, because I very rarely come onto these with a plan about what I want to speak about. I knew about Lenormand decks before I knew about weights. That's pretty cool. Crypt. Yes, you're absolutely right, Donna. Thank you. Lenormand's Crypt. I use Lenormand as a main divination tool, says Jen. A beautiful piece of music. Let's go buy another Lenormand deck. It wouldn't be that difficult. I've also been getting right into playing cards. I think probably due to Jack's deck that's coming out. Oh, you don't have that, Simon? Right, okay, I didn't know that. Is that have you just decided that you're happy not to have this one, or is it one that you like the look of? Haven't seen it, but thanks for showing it. It's definitely got a moonlight look. Yeah, definitely. It's easier to learn to read it before you learn tarot. Funny you say that, Jen, because I was listening to a podcast and it was a guy talking about playing card reading, and he said that of playing cards, he says if you're coming at this without having learned to read tarot, then you'll have a much easier time than if you've learned to read tarot first. The mice nibble away at you. Sounds interesting. My mouse is a tarot buying habit. Yeah. Niels is here. Hi, Niels. How are you? He says, hi, everyone. Just hopping on here before bed. Oh, thanks for popping in, Niels. It's always lovely to see you. Hope you're doing okay. I just had to go listen to Claire de Lune. It's lovely. Yeah. Shamefully, I know it from Twilight. Look up Fairy Godmother Fortunes. Simon saying he had a crazy week, but all good. One more day to go and then it's the weekend. Are you going live this weekend, Simon? And maybe Lenormand set has a really great explanation of how to read Lenormand. I don't know if I've actually read the explanation, but I'll have a look. I really like, so Ryan Edwards that did maybe Lenormand is the same guy who did the Marseille the plain Marseille deck, and I really like his kind of a numerology for playing cards, and I just like how he sets things out. It'll explain each Lenormand card in combinations. Yeah, I think is it this book? So This is pretty good because it has the description of each card, right? So there's the bear, it's got keywords, it's got meaning, and then it has the bear combination with every single card. So it does. So if you've got the bear and the fox, you can go to bear and then find fox within bear, and it's a sneaky boss, scheming management, manipulative boss, the workforce, unreliable strength, suspicious mother-in-law, outsmarting the boss, work is overbearing, unreliable management, established restaurant. So established restaurant is a bit weird, but I suppose that's probably because the bear can relate to food, but the bear tends to relate to protectors, authority figures, bosses. If there's any card in Lenormand that talks about the boss, it's the bear. And then fox can be sneaky. It can be someone sneaky, someone cunning. Think of the Seven of Swords. But the fox can also be like an expert, you know? Lots of people use the fox as the work card because the fox is like someone who's really like kind of established in their field. So yeah, that's where the kind of a sneaky boss thing comes in. But I think this is fantastic, particularly if you're a first-time Lenormand reader. Really, really helpful because that's, to me, like I can just about get to grips with what each of the cards means. But what I found most challenging is how to combine some of them, because some of them I wasn't really understanding what they're meant to mean as, like, maybe I know what it means as a subject, but I don't know how to make it a modifier, if that makes sense. But yeah, I think this is brilliant. I just can't with Lenormand. I have about 15 that I never use. See, I think, right, I mean, if you're quite happy not to read it, then who says you have to? But I think it is quite good because Lenormand is good for, like, for me, it feels quite accurate. Like, it feels like it just cuts straight to the point. And I think if you're feeling like you can't, it's probably because you're trying to read it like someone is telling you have to read it. You're probably trying to strictly do the subject modifier thing. Whereas if you just free yourself from that and read it how you want to read it, you probably find you'll enjoy it a bit more. Just my 2 cents worth, but give it a go. I'd actually be quite keen to see your Lenormand collection, Simon, because I know you've got that as 1886 or something. That Lenormand, but I don't think I know what other decks you've got. So it would be cool. And plus, like 15 decks isn't that much. So that would be quite cool to see your collection. And maybe your playing card collection as well. I'm just being selfish now, just because I'm in a Lenormand and a playing card kick. Don't have a single one, says David. Jen, I don't have the maybe Lenormand. Need to get it at some point. My very deck was a Lenormand Tatiana's Fortunes, which is the deck you'll see in the link. I hope it helps you. Nice. Read a report today about a fox that sneaked onto a boat in Southampton and was found in New York. A stowaway. Learning Lenormand might be my spring project, says Patchwork. Sounds really cool. What book is that, Chris? Asks Jen. It's the book that comes with the Lenormand of Enchantment, Jen. It comes with this deck, the one that I've still not showed you, that I've been teasing you with. Yeah, it's the accompanying guidebook for that. It's quite a chunky wee book, so it is. Right, let me just grab the cards. Now, they're not in order because I've been using this. So size-wise, We are talking, so what will I compare it to? Well, here it is compared to a playing card, right? Well, it's actually exactly the same size as a playing card. So they're playing card size. That was easy. These are the backs, which are really nice. The edges are beautiful gold, kind of a sparkly gilding, although I do find that when I riffle shuffle it, I get glitter on my hands, not even riffle shuffling it, just handling the sides gets you all glittery, which is a bit annoying, I'll admit, but I would imagine that after a wee bit of use, that'll kind of wear off. And then the kind of a style of the art reminds me of Chiro's deck, the Gilded Reverie Lenormand, which is probably my favourite deck. It's my first Lenormand, and it's the one that I feel like I read best with. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with this wee acquisition. And I think it's like photo digital art. Is that the best way to put it? And quite rarely it has all of the things. So it has the number, it has the name, and it has the playing card association. There's quite a lot of decks, like quite a lot of Lenormand decks that don't have usually the title or the playing card association. They miss it off. So I think that's quite cool. Man. Called. Sorry, get called at home back again. Interesting, I was looking at Lenormand decks. Actually, reading Lenormand scares me because it's more predictive than Tarot, says Moon and Tarot. Well, Tarot is more philosophical, and Lenormand is just like, tomorrow your house will burn down. I'm about to sell my one and only Lenormand deck. What deck, Niels? What deck are you selling? I'm insulted that you didn't give me prior notice of this. I'm not really, I'm joking. Tony says, I had several Lenormand decks, but passed them on when I decluttered my tarot decks. Fair enough. I was looking at that one this week with the Fox. I almost bought it. There's a Lenormand deck by Anna Kay. The Anna Kay Lenormand, funnily enough, it's called. That's a beautiful Lenormand deck. I love the dog. It's got Bernese Mountain Dog as the dog, and we used to have a Bernese Mountain Dog when I was growing up. Jack. Such beautiful big dogs. Chris, have you got a good recommendation for a book on numerology that might fit in well with Marseille or anyone else? A book on numerology. See, somebody asked me this a wee while ago, and I think I'll struggle a bit there because I didn't get my numerology from any one book. I kind of built my own numerology up over time. I mainly link, so for the Ace through to N, I mainly link to the major that's associated, and kind of work through it that way. So yeah, the Magician is like kind of that initial spark. He's kind of a summoning the lightning down, and he inspires the Fool, so it's inspiration. So the Aces are like new beginnings, and the Inspire, it's like potential energy. The High Priestess is like the kind of the silent, the germination, the kind of things being worked out down inside. So for me, the number 2 is it's about practice. It's about like kind of a preparation. At 3, the Empress is a creatrix, so she's creating. I know lots of people hate it, but she's birthing something new, whether that's an actual birth or whether it's she's creating something new. she's a kind of she's that nurturer, isn't she? She encourages growth and expansion. So the threes are creation, growth, expansion, nurturing. 4, the Emperor, brings stability, brings structure, brings order to things. So the 4s are stable, they're structured, they're ordered. 5, so the Hierophant, so you up until then, it's a very logical, ordered, like kind of a down to earth, logical process, and then all of a sudden, 5, the Hierophant, he's fucking things up a wee bit. He's asking you to believe in something that you can't see or touch, or he's asking you to have faith. So it's that kind of a change in perspective that messes things up for you. So the 5s are basically things going fucky because of changes, because of a change in perspective, or because of things have been shaken up. 6 delivers harmony of opposites, so 6s are about harmony, and so on and so forth. That's kind of mostly how I do it. So sorry, I didn't really answer your question there, but I went on a tangent. But the answer to your question is I don't think I do. I think probably somebody in the chat will have a much better recommendation than me for a book on numerology. Playing card size is nice. Bridge or smaller is even better, says Jen. Yeah, smaller is better because quite often with Lenormand we do what's called a grand tableau, which is laying out all 36 cards. So if you can get your hands on like a smaller deck, then that makes that a lot easier. The golden thread Lenormand. Ooh, interesting. You text me the details, Connie. Like message me and let me know like how much you're selling it for and stuff, because I might be interested. I was talking to my friend Melanie about the golden thread Lenormand, I'm sure, if it's the same one I'm thinking of. And it is a really beautiful deck. It's the one that's like pretty much black and white, but it's got the thread all the way through it. Check out Kipper fortune telling deck. That's Kipper. That's a slightly different system from Lenormand. I don't have any Kipper decks. I've never read Kipper. I've got Lenormand, obviously, and I've got Sibylla. I've got Cashel Matthews' Sibylla deck, but I don't have any Kipper decks. Think of the Empress's intellectual birth. Almost only do a grand tableau. Yeah, fair enough. Depends on the deck for me, really. Like if the deck is too big, then there's no way I'm laying out all the cards. And sometimes I will just do like a quick 3 or maybe a 5 card reading. So I think the Scythe is like quick things, quick but cutting. So it can be like quick decisions, or it can be painful. It can even be like the cutting can mean literal cutting, so like an operation or something. So yeah, cutting. Then we've got the Fox, who, like I was saying, it can be cunning and it can be sneaky, but it can also be an expert. It can be a doctor. So this could be talking about a heart surgeon, actually. So we could be looking at a heart surgeon here. Are both Kippers okay? I've never been a fan of Kipper, like the food. So to me, this is so The ring is like a commitment or like a, circular, cyclic, something that's like infinite, looping, everlasting. The clover is like small luck, small opportunities. And then, as we said earlier on, the bear tends to be like protector, the boss, the manager. It can be food as well. So what are we committed to small opportunities to protect? I don't know. See what I mean? I'm still learning, and I'm not always kind of I don't always see it right away what they mean. But yeah, a sense of peace and happiness are coming in. So the rider is like things coming in, opportunities coming in. The lily can mean different things. So like it can mean peace, a sense of contentment, that can also be maturity and sexuality. The sun we've covered is like happiness, joy, fulfillment, and then the rider is like things coming in. Somebody upstairs is stomping. Anyway, so that is the Lenormand of Enchantment, if anybody fancies getting it. Let me just pop this away in its box. In fact, no, I'm keeping this out because I'm using it. I'll put the book away. I've found that using Lenormand almost as you would an Oracle deck helps it feel less overwhelming and helps you feel comfortable with it. Yeah. Niels is asking Simon if he got his Greenwood yet. It just depends on the question. Yeah, Lenormand of Enchantment, that's nice. Yeah. So if the art style is to your aesthetic, then I would recommend. I'd actually recommend even if it's not, because the book is brilliant. And I think if you're learning Lenormand, then the book would be quite a useful tool, to be honest. But yeah, that was the Lenormand of Enchantment. What other decks am I working with this week? I am working with the Arcana playing cards. This is actually a tarot deck. It's the Arcana Tarot playing card deck. The white one, but I've taken out the majors and the pages, and I've just got the kind of a playing card part of it. This is a beautiful deck. So like the actual playing cards are like quite, just like normal playing cards, but then you've got like, so this is clubs, and you see how it's like 6 of clubs, but then you've also got the wands symbol on it, and then hearts. You've got hearts and cups, and then the art and the the actual illustrated cards is beautiful. I love the aces. So this is the ace of spades, but you can see that there's a sword overlaying it. Jack of hearts. I'll find some more of the aces for you. Look at that. How stunning is that? Ace of clubs. Nah, look. Oh, there's 2 of the aces. I love that. That is beautiful. So yeah, I've been using them for my my own kind of a daily readings pulls. So I pull some Lenormand, I pull some playing cards, and then I've got this as well, the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. The only reason that I'm using the mini one just now is because my normal size one, I've put it in order because I'm going to do one of these. I've been doing these shorts. Is everybody seeing like the YouTube shorts? And I've been putting them on TikTok and Instagram as well. Has everybody been seeing them, and are you enjoying them? Because yeah, I thought I would do something a wee bit different. So yeah, I've been doing them, and I've got that deck's in order, because I'm going to do a short with it. But yeah, I've got the Stingray sitting there. But yeah, that's a really nice deck as well, actually. It's split up into elements. Like so, the 4 fire, air, water, earth, and then you've got spirit, and you've got 7 spirit cards, 1 for each chakra. This is cool. But yeah, it's just a really beautiful deck, and like there's a book and it tells you what the intention of each animal was, but I feel like with animals, like we'll all have our own associations with animals. So I think this is a really good deck for, like, you know, there might be lots of cards where you don't read it the way that she's got in the book. You might read it your own way. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. So I've just been pulling one of these for the day, just as a kind of an overall energy for the day. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's 5 to 10. We should move on to the spread soon. Just catching up on the chat. I brought Kipper. Simon saying he's not got the Greenwood yet. I was just on my phone as it's all kicking off about Greenwood in the group. You're waiting a long time. No, I haven't yet, but I wasn't part of the Kickstarter. I was able to secure one when it already ended. I was or am planning a low buy year, but I've managed to convince myself that Kickstarters don't count. Those are cool cars, like old style fortune teller looking, yeah. I just got a Spice Girls card deck. It's a lot of fun. Really? I've not seen that. That would be cool. That'll be the next thing, won't it? The Insight Editions will be doing the Spice Girls tarot. Gosh, they're missing a trick, actually. I'm surprised they've not done that already. I've been crazy busy at work, no spare time. We'll have to check them out. Paired this with the Naked Heart Tarot and got such great readings. Good. Loving Alejandro's deck. 48 hours left, but he smashed it. I'll need to check. I'll need to watch a video and then potentially, because I've not backed it yet. I'm really excited about the one that comes with recipes. I love using food like that. Oh, lots of people are loving Alejandro's deck. What is people's thoughts on the Sacred Web Tarot? It often gets compared to the Wild Unknown. I keep going back and forth with buying it. I gave it away, Simon. I didn't really enjoy it, to be honest. Yeah, there's very few decks where I've just been like, no, it's just not happening. But that was one of them. Oh, Space Skittle. I just assumed that was a typo. Space Skittles, not Spice Skittles, but that would be a cool deck too. I have the Sacred Web Tarot deck. I love the guidebook. I thought you'd be all over it. Chris. I did have it, but yeah, I think I've even done a walkthrough of it. But they've messed with the courts, and yeah, I just wasn't feeling it, to be honest. Medjai says, do you know Golden Serpent Tarot? Somebody mentioned that recently, and I was looking it up, but I can't remember who or why. It's not one that I've got, I don't think. Sorry, I'm like one of these people that nervously like taps my foot. So see how you're seeing the table shake? That's me, like tapping my foot. Been looking at the Sacred Web recently. I added it to my wish list. Right, okay. Funny. Oh, you meant Alejandro's deck rather than Sacred Web, right? No, so I don't know. I wasn't sure if I really needed another Ryder Marseille style deck, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I'll definitely check it out. Now that you've done a video on it, I'll check it out and see what I think. See if I feel like it. Right, what deck am I going to use? I don't just want to use a playing card deck. I do want to use a full tarot deck, I think. One thing I'm finding, and so I love playing cards and I love tarot decks. I'm not sure how I feel about the combination though. Because the reason being, right, I read playing cards differently from how I read tarot. Like both the suits and the numbers. I think for me, playing cards are much more fortune telling, much more situational, so your diamonds is talking about your money, your resources, that type of thing. And I know that the Pentacles and Tarot does talk about that, but I feel like just the Tarot in general is much more kind of a, like, I don't know, it's just much more spiritual. That feels like a wanky way to put it, but the hearts is, well, hearts and cups align quite nicely. It's emotions and connections, and it's love and all that kind of stuff. The spades and the playing cards, I feel, talk about the difficult stuff. I don't really align it to that mental realm the same way I do the swords. To me, the spades is talking about the difficulties, the challenges. It's the setbacks and the cutting things. Whereas swords they're still weapons at the end of the day, and they can talk about that stuff. But to me, the swords is the mind, our thinking, our learning, our thoughts, our understanding, that type of thing. And then my associations for the numbers are different as well. The reason I'm saying this is because I've been working a wee bit with the Keymaster Tarot, because Simon and I think are going to be doing throwback on this next month. And also I've obviously backed Jack's deck, which is a playing card style tarot deck. But the problem that I've got is if I'm pulling a card from this deck, and it's like, I don't know, the Ace of Spades, right? I'm kind of I'm like, well, I know this is a tarot deck, so really it's the Ace of Swords, and it's like a new understanding, it's like new perspective on something. But at the same time, the card that I'm looking at is an Ace of Spades, which to me is like the beginning of a difficult situation. You know, it's the start of something difficult. It's a clash, it's an argument. Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of like in two minds. I'm like, when I get it, I'm like, right, am I going in this direction or that direction? And it's probably just a case of me getting used to it. But yeah, I'm not really sure how I'm feeling about it. So yeah, playing card and tarot decks, I'm still ever so slightly on the fence. But I'm yapping and yapping and yapping, and I've still not decided what fucking tarot deck I'm using. What deck do I want to use? You know what? So our spread comes from the lovely Malamir. She sent me, it's actually two spreads. I might only do one of them, or I might do both. It's 2 3-card spreads, and they're both kind of a daily spreads. One's a morning spread and one's an evening spread. So I might do both, or I might just do the one, depending on how we get on for time. But since it was Malamir that sent me this, she didn't make up the spread, though. She did send me where she got them from. And if I come out and find that for you, then I'm going to lose the spreads. So, well, no, actually, because they're pictures, I can easily find them again. So what I'll do is I will I'll put a copy of the link in the chat, right? So this is where these spreads come from. But yeah, so what I was saying was, because Malamir sent me this, I'm going to use one of Malamir's decks. This is the Cat Aura Tarot. I've been working a lot with Chakra Healing Tarot this week, but I'll use Cat Aura Tarot for this. Totally recommend the Golden Serpent Tarot. Oh, for fuck's sake, Chris, you need the Alejandro deck. No, seriously, it's brilliant. Right, okay. I promise I'll look it up after this, okay? I enjoyed watching your VR this morning before work. You tell, all right. I'm on it like a car bonnet. Love your videos. I find them soothing during a stressful week. Are you talking to Moomin Tarot? I think I saw the Sacred Web on a recent VR, which is why I've been thinking about it. I can't remember whose, though. Shows me to make them in a stressful week. Glad you enjoy them. It might have been Aina or Cara. Okay. So like I say, these are 2 daily tarot spreads that you can do. One is meant for the morning, and then the other one is meant for kind of an evening reflections. And as I say, it was the lovely Malamir who sent me these just to try out for myself. And I thought, oh, I could maybe do them on one of the lives, and she was quite happy with that idea. Niels is going to Dreamland, wishing you all a lovely evening and enjoy. I think he means enjoy your live, but But Niels, you've said enjoy your life. That's like you're fucking off and you're never talking to me again. Yeah, live. That sounded dramatic. Yeah, I'm like, I'll enjoy my life, but going to make sure you send me the details of that Lenormand deck you're selling before you, before you can get me to fuck and don't talk to me again. Enjoy your life. That tickled me. Yeah, can someone maybe put a wee link to Momontaro's channel in the chat? One of the mods, one of the many mods. There's about 50,000 of you. Right, hang on, I'm going to need to find this this spread. Let me align that to there, and then you can still be there. And I just need to find a picture. Right. There, right. Okay. So I'll do the morning one first. I know it's annoying because this isn't the morning, right? But you could maybe even think about this as like doing this in advance for tomorrow if you want. Thanks, Simon. So 3 card spreads. Okay. So the first card, I'll put these in the chat one by one, right? But the first card is today's energy level. The second card is what is draining me. And the third card is what boundary will protect me today. Okay. So I'll put them in one by one as we turn them over. So card number 1. Today's energy level. I don't think today's is supposed to have an apostrophe. Well, there was a blip and it put me back in sync. Oh, that's good. Today's energy level for me is the Page of Swords. So I did say I was going to kind of use this for tomorrow instead. Usually when I see the Page of Swords, I think, right, like any page really is full of energy. They're full of enthusiasm and energy, and probably sometimes they've got too much fucking energy. So I would welcome that tomorrow, because usually for me, a Friday is a real, it's when my energy levels take a bit of a dip. It's when, I slow down a bit and I don't do as much. So if I can have that energetic kind of a feeling tomorrow, then that would be great. It's not just a page, it's the Page of Swords. So I'm thinking particularly about the mental realm. I'm thinking about communication. So potentially feeling quite energetic, intellectually and in terms of communication and understanding tomorrow. This bodes actually quite well for I want to try and get some more filming done for YouTube tomorrow. So this bodes quite well for that. So it does. What's quite interesting though is that we see the wee cat here is they're in the middle of the snow. So you think energy levels, the wee thing's frozen and it's kind of trapped in the snow. So actually that almost implies the opposite of what I was saying about the Page of Swords, doesn't it? But yeah, Page of Swords for me. What have you guys got? Simon's turning in. Have a great life, Chris. David is sub to Momentaro, brilliant. Sasha's here. Hi, Sasha. So Sasha's got the 7 of coins. So that you're kind of 7 of coins for me is a card of waiting, of patience. I usually see the 7 of coins and think, right, not much is happening here. We're waiting for the right time to act. I know that you quite often, though, Saoirse, you'll read with Marseille cards, though. So the 7 of coins and the Marseille kind of shows that it has that playing card alignment, assortment of the pips, actually. So it kind of shows a path, but there's a coin right in the middle in the way. And you can look at that as an obstruction, but you can also look at that as an anchor point to branch off from, to almost strengthen your path. So what at first seems like something that's going to hinder you, in actual fact, you can turn it around and you can use it as your superpower almost. You can use it to take you to new heights. So how does that translate to energy level? Well, tomorrow it feels like maybe you're going to start out the day feeling quite, having a fairly chill day. But then there's something through the day that just kind of boosts you, like that pentacle in the middle. 5 of Cups for Tony. So 5s are unstable. So a bit of an unstable energy for you, I guess. Maybe you're needing to take it easy tomorrow if you've got the 5 of Cups. The 8 of Cups for Donna. So, I mean, usually in the 8 of Cups, we see the person kind of going on a bit of a journey. So that, to me, feels quite high energy. And the 8s are quite high energy, high momentum numbers. So potentially a good day tomorrow, I think, Donna. What do you think? Meadows using the Blood Moon Tarot and got Temperance. So again, Temperance is like very in the middle. Do you know what I mean? It's very balanced. It's like I'm not feeling lethargic and sleepy and like I can't do anything, but also I'm not like, I'm not lighting the place on fire. It's not like balls to the wall. It's just kind of a very like chill, very like, yeah, I've got my energy and I'm going to use it sensibly tomorrow. King of Pentacles from the world of Hilda. So again, the kings are like mastery, aren't they? Mastery, and I mean, it's of the earth element, which is of resources and stuff. So probably quite similar to that Temperance card. It's like you've got the energy, you're a king, but you're using it wisely. Waiting, Coiled Spring, yeah. High Priestess for Moon Tarot. So that to me is like, right, we'll dial back to the number 2. So quite a low number in terms of when you look at the majors. But also the High Priestess, her power lies in her passivity and her stillness. So potentially quite low energy levels tomorrow for Moon Tarot, but maybe it's needed, or maybe it's like you're conserving your energy for something that's going to happen like later on, or maybe over the weekend. 6 of Ray Guns, which is the 6 of Swords, reversed for Roman. So the 6 of Swords, the idea of the 6 of Swords is you're going on this journey to take yourself to a calmer headspace. When a card is in reverse for me, it's like you're blocked in that energy, you're blocked in that place. So it's like you're on your boat, but you're chasing yourself around in circles. There's no actual destination in mind. You're just kind of going about on that boat all over the place. So energy levels, I mean, it feels like that's going to require quite a lot of energy, but it maybe feels like you maybe got a lot of energy tomorrow, but are you using it wisely? Do you have a focus in mind? Or are you maybe chasing your tail, Roman? 10 of Cups from the Earth Magic, says David. And so 10s are like a final number. It's a number of completion, isn't it? So, I mean, potentially you could look at that and say, we're coming to the end of something. So it feels like, coming to the end of the day, it feels like the energy's quite kind of a dying down and dialing back. But then at the same time, the 10 is like the highest number, it's like the culmination. So that you could see as being quite high energy. Those are obviously like kind of a contrasting interpretations. But then when you think the cups is the emotional suit, it's not meant to be rational. It's not meant to be like easily rationalized and understood. So energetic wise, it feels quite high, quite energetic, but emotionally it feels like maybe like that the way that translates emotionally is quite it's maybe not intuitive to how your energy is. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but hopefully something makes sense. On Moomin Tarot, you're using the Cowgirl Marseille. Nice. As far as I know, it should be a good day. I'm using the Tarot de Carlotides, which just shows 3 cups each with a red drop falling into it, balanced on the 5 cup. Oh, 3 cups, each with a red dot dropping, red drop falling into it, and it's balanced on 5 cups. So there's a key floating under the moon. Okay. Conserving sounds spot on for current energy, says Moomin Tarot. So maybe replenishing my emotional reserves. Potentially, yeah. Potentially. I still feel quite good. Like the 8 is it's a high number and it's an energetic number. So I think emotionally we're feeling quite fulfilled and tomorrow's a good day, Donna. Tomorrow's a good day. Is the way I feel about it, energy. Okay. Card number 2 then. I think if you're okay with it, what I'll do is I'll do this spread, and then maybe next week I'll do the evening spread. Gives us something to look forward to for next week, doesn't it? So card number 2 is what is draining me. Oh, 3 of Swords. What is draining me? So for me, that's like it's overthinking. It's my head and my heart like at war with each other. Not being able to align like how I'm rationally thinking about things and how I feel about things, and that to me is quite draining. So potentially tomorrow I'm going to need to watch. See that sword energy. Potentially it's going to be quite disruptive for me tomorrow. Quite disruptive to my energy levels. And I'm going to need to kind of watch myself. I guess what this could be saying to me is that I sometimes do this where I kind of put pressure on myself, think like I've just said, I want to get some filming done, I want to get loads of videos filmed, and then I end up, for whatever reason, I end up not doing it, and I give myself a hard time for it, and it almost just like puts me off doing it even more, because I'm giving myself a hard time for it. So it's that I see these mind games that I play with myself, that potentially is what's going to drain me to this card keeps turning around of its own volition. That's potentially what's going to drain me tomorrow. The Ace of Coins for David. Ace of Coins, okay, interesting. How could we see the Ace of Coins as being draining? I mean, I suppose it could be some kind of a new thing, some new opportunity, or something new coming out, something that comes out of the woodwork, something that just comes up tomorrow that takes up a lot of your energy, something that takes your attention away from maybe what you initially intended to do with your day. Just remember, an ace is just a small thing. It's only going to be what you make of it. So whatever it is, if you do find something comes up tomorrow, if you don't want it to take up too much of your energy, then don't let it. You're in control of that. My table's really shaky today. Unless maybe it's not the table, maybe it's the thing holding the camera. See, so we've got Justice for Tony. 5 of Cups and then Justice. So potentially something's upsetting you, or something's messing with you tomorrow, Tony. And it's the unfairness of it that's draining you. It's the kind of the sense of like, well, that's not fair. How come how come they're getting away with that, or like something like that. Something, yeah. Just look after yourself tomorrow. Don't feel like you need to make sense of everything tomorrow. Tomorrow's a day for just processing the emotions of a particular situation. And do you know what? See if if there's no direct retribution for someone being a dickhead. Karma's a funny thing. Just keep telling yourself that. So don't feel like it's your job to remove the stick from everyone else's arse. That's their problem, not yours. The devil for Sorsha. So the devil is what's draining you tomorrow. Interesting. How are we interpreting that then? Meadow, so strength reversed is what's draining you. So that, to me, I would interpret that as so strength is always talking about confidence, I think. Confidence and strength, power, your sense of power, but your sense of like self-esteem and stuff. So if it's reversed, then it could be struggling with confidence is what's draining you. So maybe there's a particular situation that comes up for you tomorrow where it calls on you to be confident and be sure of yourself, and that maybe you're struggling a wee bit with that, and that almost kind of takes more out of you than what it would otherwise. Do you know what I mean? Either that, or when you look at strength, usually we see someone battling, like kind of trying to overpower a lion or some kind of a creature. So maybe tomorrow you're being called on to overpower something, or to kind of take control of some situation, and that's what's taking your energy. Temperance, so trying to find that balance is potentially what's trying to be perfect, the perfectionism. Roman's got the Cosmic Cunt deck, and has got the Tower. Okay, so shit's hitting the fan tomorrow, and that's what's taking up your energy. I've got 2 of the crappiest cards, 3 of Swords, and now the Tower. I don't want to play. Okay. So remember the tarot likes to exaggerate to make its point, right? So as much as it's saying 3 of Swords and the Tower, like, it could be that somebody, the 3 of Swords can be talking about like harsh words. So it could just be that you're kind of offended by someone, and maybe Tower, maybe it kind of momentarily halts your day, maybe it upsets you, and maybe it does take up a bit of your energy, because like you're like, how dare they? Who are they talking to like that? But in reality, most of the time we move on for these situations pretty quickly. So yeah. Queen of Cups. So maybe that's a person in your life that's taking up your energy, Moomin Tarot. Or maybe the Queen of Cups is you, and it's just your empathy. If you're a natural empath, if you take on other people's emotional stuff, which the Queen of Cups does, that can be very draining on you. Donna's had 3 jumpers, all swords. Oh dear. Temperance, so for Lily Rose as well, that perfectionism, the need for things to be just so, can be very draining. I was thinking nipping in the bud material worries for the Ace of Pentacles, okay? And the reading's about your sister, okay? My devil is my codependence, I think. Oddly enough, I've been planning my next solo road destination. Okay. Okay. Final card down. And this is the important one. This is what boundary. Well, they're all important, but what boundary will protect me today? The Six of Chalices. I think that's actually just been really kind and gentle to myself, to be honest with you. Notice how the answering card is a chalices. It's an emotional cups card, whereas these two are swords. So I'm all up in my head and overthinking things and giving myself a hard time and being my own worst critic. And the boundary, the answer, what's helping me is the Six of Chalices. It's emotional harmony. It's just, I suppose it's just being balanced with myself, being kind to myself, not giving myself too hard a time if I don't get those videos filmed, or if there are harsh words, or if something happens, if there's an argument, or if there's something, just trying to be balanced about it. This can be about trying to kind of see things, put yourself in someone else's shoes, meet someone halfway. So I guess I'll need to live out my day tomorrow and see what this is talking about, and then that'll maybe make clear what the Six of Chalices is kind of getting at. Oh, Beth's got to run. I swear it's not about my cards. Bye all. Thank you, Chris. Oh, Beth, make sure you pull the third card. That's what's going to help you. Even if you don't share it with us, I hope you've pulled it. Let's see, Five of Cups, Justice, and then the World. So you need to remember that you are exactly where you need to be. Remember how far you've come. Remember how hard you've worked to get to where you are. So as much as there might be wee blips through the day, you are the world. You are perfection, Tony. You're perfect just the way you are. You're right where you're meant to be on this world. And sometimes it's just about kind of refocusing your attention from the negatives to the positives. So, like, it can be easy to get caught up in those wee Five of Cups moments, but as soon as we kind of take the focus off of that and think, right, okay, like, maybe somebody called me a cunt today, but like, look at all of these 100 people that have told me how I've helped them, or how, like how I've been a light for them in their life. It's just about refocusing, rebalancing a wee bit. Do you know what I mean? And I did just say the C word. I do apologise for anyone that doesn't like the C word. The Seven of Coins. Actually, taking it back to the World. Remember, the World links to Saturn, which is all about boundaries as well, isn't it? It's all about boundaries, limitations, but boundaries, and like healthy boundaries. So, sorry. David, Seven of Coins. I would interpret that as the boundary is just giving things the time that they need, not feeling rushed or not feeling like things have to happen before they're ready to. The boundary is just like being patient with yourself or with others, or with whatever the situation is, and just giving it the time that it needs. King of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Six of Cups. So you've got the same card as me, Lily Rose. So just being balanced, being kind to yourself, remembering to be kind to yourself is always important, says Jen. Yep. Page of Swords. I often think of this as a gentle soul with a sword he's a bit dubious about using. Maybe for cutting ties, not anything terminal. Oh, the Page of Page of Swords. It's Saoirse. Bit dubious about using his swords. Right, okay. Okay. But I mean, being honest, I think like using your words when you need to. You know, the thing about the Page of Swords is he's young and he doesn't always have a filter. And yeah, that can get him in trouble sometimes, but it can also be an asset. You know, he's really honest to a fault sometimes, but he's very, very upfront and very honest. Um, and sometimes it's just about like setting that tone, and being upfront about what it is that needs to be said. Three of dildos, which is the ones. Geez, I don't know what that's telling you to do, Roman, but just be careful. Yeah. The moon. The moon is a boundary. I mean, when I think about the moon image, and you have the crayfish, and we know that crayfish has that perilous path to journey, that it's got the dog and the wolf on either side. But where it is currently in that water, it's safe from them. So I suppose what I would say is to the crayfish, like, you've got a safe space just now, you've got that boundary. Yeah, eventually you're going to have to venture out onto that path. That's your way forward, but don't come out of there until you're ready. Do you know what I mean? So maybe the boundary is just giving yourself the time that you need to act and not feeling like everything has to be right now. Be patient with yourself and give yourself the time. Tina Wilson has pulled. Hi, Tina. Has got the Empress, the Two of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles. So let's see, your energy level is the Empress. Now that feels great. The Empress is like, full of abundance and energy in my view. The Two of Pentacles is what's draining you. So you've got lots of energy, but your problem is you take on too much. You're trying to balance too many things at the one time. So what I would say is maybe you need to think about prioritizing a wee bit. Rather than trying to do 100 things at once, maybe you need to pick 5 of those things and think, right, these are the things that I want to do today. These are my priorities for today. I'm going to do these 5 things really well, rather than trying to do 100 things at once and making an arse of it, And then what boundary will protect you? The 10 of Pentacles. I'm not sure what deck you're using, Tina, but what I would say is the 10 of Pentacles is one of those cards for me that, well, it really depends on the deck and it depends on the image. It could be, so sometimes the 10s can be about passing down things. It can be a renewal of the cycle and passing things on. So maybe it's delegating, okay? So if you've got those 100 things that need done, maybe it's not about you doing all of them yourself. Maybe there's others that can help, The 10 of Pentacles often shows a community. So maybe you need to lean on your community a wee bit more, the people around about you. Is there reliable people that you can trust to help you? Maybe that's something you could think about, and not feeling like you need to do it all yourself. 5 of Wands reversed. I think I need to stay off social media tomorrow. 5 of Wands reversed. So the 5 of Wands reversed feels like we're locked in that place of upheaval. So it does. Which is interesting for what your boundary is. Because with the 5 of Wands, it's like instability and the fire element, isn't it? So it's like everybody's passions are kind of a misfiring. Nobody's really aligning. And of course, the usual journey of the 5 is to is to, we work together by clashing against each other, but eventually we align and we kind of learn to work together. And then we move on to the 6. But when the 5 is reversed, we're stuck in that kind of a clash of like nobody's listening to each other. So maybe maybe you're quite right. You need to stay off social media. Maybe tomorrow's just a day where it's like, you know what, fuck a lot of yous. I'm doing my own thing and I don't care what anybody says. Maybe that's your bound today where you're just like, nope, leave me alone today. This is about me. Today is about me. The Empress, all majors, I swear I shuffled, says Meadow. Boy, did I need to hear that, says Tony. Such a really a set of dildos. Yeah. Ditto, mind in the gutter. Need to recharge those toy batteries. So you're using a rider pack, right? Cool. Okay. So your 10 of Pentacles does show a community. So I feel like, it might be that tomorrow there'll be a tendency for you to take on too many things, Tina. And maybe you need to think about delegating or asking for help. Lean on your community a wee bit and don't feel like you need to take on everything by yourself. Yeah, also the crayfish has its shell. I'm in the Middle East. Need a bit of a shell. Although I kind of wish I had a suit of dildos. Is that Tarot of the Unexplained totally on my wish list? No, it's the Cosmic Cunt Tarot. Not sure if you'd be able to get that in the Middle East, to be honest with you. Because it must be late for you, Moomin Tarot, if you're in the Middle East. Because I think you're ahead of us in time, aren't you? So yeah, I'm not keeping you up too late. Okay. So as always, everybody, I would encourage you to take a wee picture of your spread and post it on the Facebook group, Elemental Cartomancers. Let me see if I can get a quick link to the Facebook group for you. Maybe not so quick. Share. Copy link. Let's pop it here. So please do come and join us on the Elemental Cartomancers Facebook group. It is a private Facebook group, so no one's going to see the stuff that you post in there. Well, the people that are in the group will, but your general friends on Facebook won't. Yeah, to be honest, I made it so that we could all share our cards, our card pools somewhere. So, yeah. Everyone is welcome to post pictures of their spreads on there. And, yeah. What else have I got? I think that might be us. I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I've still got some of my coffee and my tea left, so I'm going to take them to my bed. I'm going to go and see if I've got any snacks, because remember I did ask for snacks. So, yeah. That's my plan for this evening. I hope that everyone has an amazing weekend. For those of you that are celebrating Mother's Day on Sunday, I hope that you have a lovely day. I'm going to take my mum out for dinner. And yeah, have an amazing weekend, folks, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.